This unit is our power drive, power lift, power clamp and power rotate vessel handling unit. It's one of our specials models. So we can either drive the unit to the vessel and clamp around the middle, or we can maneuver the vessel into the arm. We had one moving arm, so this arm moves in and out, and this one is a fixed arm. So we maneuver the vessel in and make it touch that arm. So just wheel it in, align it into the clamp itself, so you can see it's touching it, so it's nice and tight in there. We come around the back of the unit and we have a clamping panel, and we have a single clamp button and a clamp pressure meter. So we press the button and the clamp will close and the pressure will go up. So make sure everyone's clear of the head, everyone should be behind the unit. We press the clamp button. As soon as we reach the correct clamp pressure, which is indicated on the meter, we're ready to lift. We can see that arm's closed right alongside and there's no daylight in the arm. So then on this panel we have a lifting panel here with the lift and lower control. We press lift. And now when we're ready to rotation, same thing again, make sure no one's anywhere near the rotating head, and we have the rotation control. And back again. We can obviously stop in any orientation. And then lower down to the floor. When we want to release the clamp, we have to use two hands for this. So there's two buttons on the panel which are separated apart. You have to press both of these at the same time to open the clamp. What we'll do now is we'll clamp the unit back up again, we'll lift, and then we'll show you the power drive. So that's no one's near the head, we press clamp, achieve the correct pressure, lift, then we can operate the power drive system. So this is a tiller operated system, so it's a single rear drive wheel. We can actually turn the wheel to the direction we want to go. There's a key switch on the back, so make sure that's on, and then lower the vessel back to the floor. What I'm going to show you now is the emergency recovery procedure. So this is the emergency recovery handle. It stows on the right hand side here just in clips, and you just pull the handle off. So what this does, on one end we have an Allen key which removes these two Allen screws here, and then on this end we have a socket, and we use that to actually manually bring the unit back. But the first thing you must do is on the panel here we have a handle and it says rotation mode. So we turn this into manual. So if we turn it into manual, this allows us to rotate it manually, and when we want to do it powered, we turn it back to the powered. So turn the handle to manual, use the Allen key on the end, just take the screws out, turn it round to the socket, place the socket on, okay, and back up to manual. Obviously then, if we want to power it again, we simply turn the lever back to the powered part, and obviously make sure we reinstall the cap and stow the handle on the side of the unit. We're now looking at the control panel for the unit. First thing here, we have a key. Key goes in, we turn the key to the right to switch the unit on. We can see here we have an auto reversing button that when we reverse, if this touches our body, it changes the drive from reverse to forward, moves the unit away from you. These are the butterfly throttles. We operate with your thumbs. So forwards on the top, nice and gently, and reverse, again, just on the bottom of the unit there. If I fold this down, this tiller has to be in the operational range. So if we let go, it'll automatically return to vertical and stop the drive. So to drive the unit, we have to be in its operational range. So on the top here, we have a number of buttons. So we have the lower button. This lowers the head, and the lift button. So we lift and lower. We have a horn. Now if we move on to the main control panel here, you can see our E-stop here. So if we want to cancel all power, we press that down. That cancels all the power to the drive, the lift, the rotation and the clamp. To reset, simply lift up. On this part of the panel here, we have the digital battery condition meter. This runs through various cycles, and then it'll actually tell you how much battery power you have. The batteries are charged up to rechargeable batteries, and they're charged up by plugging in to the unit here into a main 240 volt supply. Then if we look at the top panel here, we'll have rotational speed control, so we can adjust this anti-clockwise and clockwise to adjust the rotational speed. We have our clamp pressure meter, which we'll talk more about in a minute. And then here we'll have an emergency recovery system, which allows us to use this handle, this yellow handle, plugged into the other side of the unit to actually rotate the cylinder, as shown previously, back into the vertical. To use the manual handle, we have to put this lever into the manual position. So manual position, we can use this lever to plug into the left hand side of the unit to rotate back to vertical. When we finish doing that, we stow the handle and put it back into the powered mode. So now in powered mode, we're onto this primary panel here. So there's a number of things. We have the clamp pressure meter. So the clamp pressure meter here, and the clamp pressure button. So to clamp the cylinder in place, we ensure no one is near the head, like previously shown, and we press this continually. The clamp is closing, the pressure is rising, and the needle is going into the green. So now on the clamp pressure meter, I can see the needle is in the green section. So this means I've got enough clamp pressure to actually lift the cylinder without it slipping. Ensure it stays in the green at all times, and should this needle start to go down into the red, you need to put it down quickly. It has a constant tension system to ensure that it always will stay in the green. Next thing we do, if we want to actually release the cylinder, we need to ensure that we put it down on the floor first. And then we have to press two buttons at the same time. So you see here we have unclamp and unclamp. You have to press both of them at the same time. That unclamps the arms from around the cylinder. Next ones here, we have lift and lower. So we press lift, head will go up, let go, lower, head will go down. And then we have rotation. So on our rotation buttons, we press rotation, and then back again. There's also a charging light here, so when the unit is plugged into power, this charging light will be illuminated.